Hi, everybody. It's Sister Mary Peter, your drag ambassador from San Francisco, California, with Drag Out the Vote. I'm sitting here with California's hardworking and very handsome Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, to find out what they've done to expand voting access before the general election on Tuesday, November 3rd. Secretary Padilla, thank you so much for being here today. Now tell us, what are the most important dates voters need to know about before Election Day?
That's a very good question because we all need to make a plan and be ready to vote this November. But let me first start off with saying thank you for having me and for working together to drag out the vote in 2020. The first key date I want everybody to think about is today. If you're not registered to vote yet, but you're 18 years or older and a citizen, register to vote today. Go to vote.ca.gov, click on register to vote, and just takes a couple of minutes, but make sure you're ready to go for this November. If you're already registered to vote, it's always a good idea to verify your registration status. Make sure that your voter registration record is up to date, including your current mailing address, so we know where to send you your ballot. And finally, once you've done that, go to Where's My Ballot today and sign up for our ballot tracking system. You, as a voter, can sign up to get alerts either by email, by text message, or by phone calls on the status of your ballot when it's working its way through the Postal Service, both on its way to you, on its way back to the county, and imagine getting notified that yes, the county received your ballot, and yes, your ballot was counted. So you can do all of those today. Now, the first key date to start being aware of is October 5th. For purposes of this November, every active registered voter in the state is going to receive a vote by mail ballot. And counties must start sending those ballots out no later than October 5th. So first week of October, start checking your mailbox. And when you get your ballot, I suggest you fill it out and send it back in as soon as you can. The next key date to keep in mind is October 19th. That's a Monday, and that's technically the voter registration deadline. So I know everybody here is going to register to vote immediately, but for folks who put it off, and as you're spreading the word with your friends and neighbors, let them know that October 19th is the last day to register. If they miss that deadline, they still have an option called same day registration, but they'll have to show up in person, either at their county elections office or at any polling place or vote center in their area to register and be able to cast their ballot. The next key date is October 31st. Yes, I know that's Halloween. It's going to be a little different this year, but in most counties, October 31st is the first day for early voting. We're not going to have to wait till election day to be able to vote in person for people who need that option. You can start going during the early voting period. In most counties, it starts on Saturday, October 31st. So you can vote on Saturday, you can vote on Sunday, you can vote on Monday, or if you put it off, you can vote on Tuesday, November 3rd. And that's the final key date to keep in mind. Not only is Tuesday, November 3rd, the last day to vote in person, but that's also the date by which vote by mail ballots have to be postmarked in order to count. California law says as long as your ballot is postmarked on or before Election Day, it can arrive even up to 17 days after the election and it will still be counted. But it needs to be postmarked on or before November 3rd. So there you have it, a ton of information, and there's even more at vote.ca.gov.
How does someone find information about voting, like early voting dates or voting locations or other critical details?
Where to get information about voting? That's another timely and important question because there's a lot of misinformation floating around, especially on social media. So, for accurate, official, reliable information about voting, registering, and your options for casting your ballots, go to your county elections office, or even better yet, the Secretary of State's office. Vote.ca.gov, all the tools and information you need in one location. Vote.ca.gov.
Now, there's a national shortage of poll workers. So, what can we as fabulous drag artists and concerned citizens do to help out?
Poll workers. I mean, that's an important question every election, but this year in particular, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people who have volunteered in prior elections, a lot of senior citizens and retirees are not going to be available this November to help with all the in-person voting at voting locations throughout the state. So yes, if you're able and if you're willing, please consider signing up to be a poll worker. You know, first responsibility is to make sure we vote, but for folks who want to go above and beyond, go to vote.ca.gov, scroll down to poll worker, share your name, contact information, and we'll connect you with the county officials that'll provide not just the training, but the PPE to keep you safe and compensation. Poll workers get paid for their service. Compensation does vary by county, but it's usually at least around $100 a day. And so for folks who can use a little extra pocket change, it's a good way to do good and earn money along the way. Again, go to vote.ca.gov, click on poll worker, and you're on your way. For folks outside of California, go to powerthepolls.org.
Thank you, Secretary Padilla. Remember, we all need to sashay to the polls or to our mailboxes if we want our voices to be heard on November 3rd. For more information about voting or to register to vote, go to dragoutthevote2020.org. Thanks, everybody. See you at the polls.